I was at a local restaurant the other day, and I remembered to bring my GoPro with me because last time I was there, I noticed some pretty sus stuff going on with the prints that were available for purchase, which were like between I think like $100 and $200, all of them. There should be some footage injected in here before or after this. And there was like prints of like galaxies and universes and stuff, and there was some Life magazine covers and some other things. The like canvas prints of these galaxies, the artist, because there's a card there, it says NASA. And like for the Life magazine cover, I think it just says Life magazine or something, or maybe they credit the photographer that took it. I can't remember now, but it's interesting that they're selling this stuff that they, I'm assuming, have no right to sell. I mean, the rights to sell that stuff would have cost so much more than they're actually getting from the sale of the prints. But that's what I wanted to talk about, was the kind of idea of stealing in art, copyright, infringement, appropriation, things of that nature, but really quick in the context of this very specific thing that opens up a whole bunch of doors. But yeah, not a fan of that. Like, it's very obvious they don't have the rights to do that. Just to like pull images off the internet and be like, oh yeah, NASA took this photo, and credit NASA for it, like credit them for it, and sell it. Like, obviously Life magazine and NASA are not gonna care if they ever found out anyway to like file any copyright suits or anything like that, because it's just unnecessary. Like, these people aren't making enough money for NASA to bother, I think, or something like, you know, or Life magazine. But it's just like, what's the word? Not ethical, I guess. I would that's the word I guess I'm looking for. Not super artistically ethical, and I mean not to say they're artists, because obviously they're not, but are just not ethical in general. Not a fan. Not a fan of that at all. So as I was thinking about it and talking with some other people about it too, some other people got brought up, like Andy Warhol, or I'm going to talk about Richard Prince. Did I say Richard Prince? Richard Prince. Because like he had stolen images basically off of people's Instagram, and like Suicide Girls and some other people, photographers. I believe it happened with Chad Coombs as well. Maybe he was just commenting about it, but he had blown up these huge prints of the photos that he just took off Instagram. Made very minor changes, like he put some stuff in the comment section kind of thing, and then he sold them for millions of dollars at a gallery. And like that to me is art. That type of stealing, if you want to call it, or appropriation or what have you. He changed the context of what was happening. He changed the context of the art. If the photograph by itself was supposed to be art, the subject and the photographer took this photograph or whatever, and he's making a comment, I think, on just super cheeky on just being able to do it, being like, I'm doing it and getting away with it. I blew them up. I had enough money to do this. I have a big enough name that I can get this gallery to support this, and then sold them for, like I said, millions of dollars. And he made small changes to the actual piece as well, which kind of fits into appropriation a bit. Not just changing physically a piece, but for me, like, I would say, like, changing the concept of it was really important, and basically making a comment on, like I said, a cheeky way of stealing, appropriating, of being able to do that and get away with it. That doesn't bother me. Maybe that's like super hypocritical. Like, I think that if it was my stuff and like I see someone else making millions off of it, that wouldn't be cool, obviously, just because they have a bigger name and they can just take my stuff and print it out and whatever. Like, obviously that'd be hypocritical. Like, but I like the idea of it, I guess, because everyone got really upset and it was very controversial and it was like a big deal, and I was like, yeah, like, that's funny to me, I guess. But for some reason, it's not funny when I see like local restaurants just like stealing images. They're not repurposing the context or the the concept of it at all. It's just like, oh yeah, we like that image, we think it'll sell, so we're gonna put it in a frame and put it on our wall and sell it. And they're not claiming that it's theirs, that they made it, but they're selling someone else's work. So I'm not a fan of that at all. Yeah, like I said, it's a whole big, massive concept and issue and things that we could go off into. I mean, with licensing and stuff, like also with like Calvin or Hobbes as an example, like Bill Watterson licensed like one thing ever in like the 80s, like a calendar, and he never licensed any other product ever again. So anything Calvin or Hobbes that you can buy other than his like the books is not legit at all. It's like third party knockoff, whatever. It's not legitimately licensed to sell. So I mean, and things like that sucks. Like that he didn't want to license anything because people love Calvin and Hobbes and people like want like little plushies or stickers or whatever, right? Like pillows and sheets and whatever. Like I love Calvin or Hobbes, so I mean, yeah, it would be cool if he had licensed some products so that people could buy them. But he didn't want to commercialize it. And then people just go and do it anyway. So that bothers me a bit too, right? Like, just like, you know. And I have unfortunately added to that problem. I have like a Calvin or Hobbes shirt that someone like just like put on a shirt. It's kind of like a mashup thing, which is a little different because it's kind of appropriating like those characters and mashing them up in another context. And so it is different. It was like a Donnie Darko Calvin or Hobbes mashup thing, which, but. Yeah, so he hasn't licensed anything. I mean, it's sad that he wanted to keep it innocent and keep it to the comics, and then people just went and did their own thing with it. That's unfortunate because those people aren't gonna get stopped generally unless they make a lot of money for people to go after. I don't know. These things just bother me. These little things, so that when it comes like a big thing and it becomes to me art and challenging what art is or what art isn't, or challenging laws or challenging what is stealing, what is copyright, what is ethical, what is not. Those challenges, the way that Richard Price did it, don't bother me. And maybe it's because I'm just a grumpy. No, grumpy's not the right word. Maybe it's because I'm a jerk or whatever that makes me laugh. I like it. But then when I see these other things, like at the restaurant, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why don't you not do that? Whether it's because you should be getting original art from people that are local, or maybe don't have anything on the wall, or just, find a way to do it right instead of instead of just pulling images off the internet. There's some that say artist unknown as well, and it's like, so anyway, it's not, yeah. I think there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it, and there's a lot of talk about it. I'm sure I'll revisit this issue again, but like because this came up in the vlog a bit, or at least when I went to go there, or maybe, yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's a thing. I would like to know your thoughts on that as well, on like how you feel about either, the local restaurant and what they do, or like Calvin Hobbes and Bill Watterson, that example, or especially Richard Price and what he did. I'll include a link to an article in the description that will kind of give you more information on that whole issue and like Suicide Girls and Richard Price, Prince, and all that stuff. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. I'm curious as to what other people might have to say about it. Yeah, that's just the rant today. Not a fan when people do that. It really upsets me. For some reason, I'm really chill right now in this rant, but like it was super annoying when I saw it, and I was like, really, are you kidding me? And I talked to some people about it already, which is maybe why I'm a little more chill doing this, because I've already kind of got it out. But like, it's super annoying. I don't like it. Like, don't do that. Like, why are you just stealing people's stuff in that context? Like, literally just taking images off the internet, printing them out, and making money off them, versus, stealing someone's images, changing it slightly, giving it a whole new concept and a whole new context, and then that's, the way that it was done could have been art. But this is not that at all. This is just trying to make a quick buck, and that's what really bothers me.